time for another HBCU review. Brought to you by HBCU Live.
Hello and welcome to another edition of HBCU Live. We kick off the show, tip off the show from Orangeburg. I saw Buddy Pugh, head coach of South Carolina State, started thinking football. This is a basketball game between South Carolina State and Norfolk State, and the Spartans come out smoking. That's Deshaun Taylor from three-point land. Taylor just getting started off the rebound, miss the putback basket. Taylor single-handedly lifting Norfolk State in the early going. Then in transition, Jeff Short with the runner. You knew I was gonna throw a Jeff Short clip in there at some point. And then in transition, it's Short again. This time he finds Rasheed Gaston, who jams it home. 14-1, Norfolk State starting out on fire. Then South Carolina State responds. That's Karan Wright, give him two. Wright bringing the Bulldogs back into the game with some hot shooting. This is Karan Wright, give him three. And it's a single-digit deficit, but Jeff Short is a bad man. That's a three-point bomb for Short. South Carolina State battling their way back. Greg Mortimer give him three. Then later, just before the break, Edward Stevens sets up along the baseline, drills home three of his team-high 16 points. South Carolina State trims that 14-1 deficit to 35-32 at the break. Everything's going right for the Bulldogs. Everything's going right. They're going to come back in the second half, and they're going to win this game. And then Jeff Short happened. Jeff Short with 20 points on the game for Norfolk State. Another run to start the second half. Alley-oop. Darryl Palmer jams it home for South Carolina State. Malik Thomas, however, was the silent assassin for Norfolk State, drilling home a three ball there. Karan Wright trying to keep up with three of his own. But the Spartans said, enough of this. Let's just go ahead, take this game, bring it on home for the green and gold. That's exactly what Gaston would do, jamming home three of his 13 points. He had 11 boards as well. Then it's that Jeff Short guy again. And one. And it's a double-digit deficit again. And then the silent assassin, Malik Thomas, 3 second half triples, 16 points on the game. Norfolk State goes on to win this game. Final score, 76-63. NSU still chasing the leader, North Carolina Central, in what is becoming a tight MEAC race. Let's take you around the corner and down the street to Claflin University, where Reginald Baptiste and Claflin was looking to pull off the upset over Morehouse at Tullis Arena. The Maroon Tigers had a simple game plan, just pound the Panthers inside with Tyrone Brown, and Brown steps up early. But Claflin had an answer from outside. That's Adolph Caldwell, give him three. He had 12 points for the Panthers. Panthers been playing well after a slow start. Conference play seems to be bringing out the best in Claflin. Here's the case in point right here. Good ball movement here. Baptiste with the free throw line jumper. And the Panthers staying ahead. Grady Brewer says, I gotta find a way to inspire my team, give them a spark. Here's a nice defensive play. Tyrese Walker with the strip. Javarius Gay with the jam. But Claflin still out in front. Later in the first half, Michael Hall spots up, hits Jay. Morehouse trims the deficit to 24-19 at the break. In the second half, the Maroon Tigers step their game up. This is Brown and one. He had a team-high 12 points for Morehouse. Now the Maroon Tigers on defense. Brown with a rejection. Panthers get the rebound. Hall with the rejection. Triggers a fast break. Gay, Walker, layup. Morehouse jumps into the lead, but Claflin would not fold thanks to Kendall Jackson. The follow-up jam there. We're going back and forth for the remainder of the game. Arthur Talley give him two more for the Panthers. And then later, Jackson with a nice move to the hoop, give him a deuce. Claflin retakes the lead. Let's fast forward, 1.5 to play. Claflin trying to come up with some mojo. Walker ties the game with the first free throw, but he's going to miss the second. Look at what happens. Hall tips it up again through the hoop. Now what happens here? Does the basket count? All kinds of confusion. Claflin says time should have run out. We should be going to overtime. Morehouse says the basket should count. The game should be over. Neither coach got what they wanted. The basket counted, but there was still a second to play. So Claflin had one last chance. Tally can't get the shot off in time. The house escapes with a 2-point win, 58-56. All right, we're kicking off our CIAA highlights with a heavyweight fight, lady style. Steve Joyner Jr. and his Johnson C. Smith Lady Golden Bulls taking on Livingstone. Precious Roberts comes up with a big basket in the second half, but JCSU came to play. Aisha Jordan to the hoop. Give her one and a foul. Later, Anika Jones, backdoor. Johnson C. Smith hanging close. This game, nail-biting style all the way down to the end. Amber Curtis with a big hoop right there for Livingstone. Easily the toughest test this year for the Lady Blue Bears. Wendy Foster gets the kind roll, so she's living right and you know it. Precious Roberts, 22 points. Big playmaker for Livingstone. But Johnson C. Smith didn't go away. This three-pointer cut the deficit to 2. But they couldn't get over the hump, those Lady Golden Bulls, because Precious Roberts and company came up with the big plays late. LC survives, winning this game by a final score of 78-74. They're 18-0 on the year. Now for the men, well, not as much drama. Steele in the early going leads to a transition bucket for Jawan Cole. Then it's Hakeem Jackson who went nuts in this game. 27 and 14. Baseline jumper there. Livingstone scores the first 6 points in this game. Off the steal, Doris Johnson will finish the break with a layup. Now there were some Johnson C. Smith highlights. This was not a blowout, okay? Stedman Lemon drills home the three-pointer there. Jackson too strong for Livingstone though. Here he is with the ball. He knows what to do with it. He puts it away with authority. Lemon had a nice game for Johnson C. Smith. He's going to finish a fast break here. 2 of his 26 points. Not nearly enough on this day. Livingstone had all the right moves, if you know what I mean. Bucket there for Eric Mayo. Livingstone wins this game in convincing fashion. Final score, 93-81. Livingstone still tied for first in the CI South Division. It was a busy week for Livingstone at home. Earlier in the week, the Blue Bears hosted Fayetteville State. The Broncos hoping to steal a win at New Trent Gym. But early on, it's all Blue Bears. Livingstone in transition. Dwight Williams finishes with a jam above the rim with authority. Then it's Eric Dubose in transition. That's just amazing. What a move. This is Marquette Hill getting it done in the paint for Fayetteville State, staying with it and getting the bucket. Joshua Dawson, you know he can dish the rock, but he can score the rock too. Look at him post up and get the bucket there. But Eric Dubose and Livingstone handled things in the first half. That's a three-pointer from Dubose. And then later Dubose with a jumper mid-range. He had 22 points on the game. Livingstone led 50-39 at the half, but that don't celebrate just yet because Joshua Dawson, look at that move, was just getting started in the game. He had a game-high 23 points. Hakeem Jackson keeping Livingstone in the lead. They led by as many as 18 in the second half, but Fayetteville State, out of nowhere, comes back. Devin Thompson with a putback. Ty Newman gets a steal here for Livingstone, and then he goes coast to coast with the steal and score. You think Livingstone's going to coast to the win, but Fayetteville State just would not quit. Torian Showers had a strong game for Fayetteville State. Before you know it, it's a three-point game with time running out. Joshua Dawson, give him deuce. 23 points. They have a chance to send this game into overtime late after Carl McCray nails the three ball here. Final seconds. Here's that shot that Fayetteville State needed to send it to overtime, and it doesn't go in. Livingstone survives with a three-point win. ladies game, no such drama at all. This game was over before halftime. Amber Curtis nails the jumper. Don't relax, don't relax, don't relax, don't relax. It's a steal by LaBria Walker. Score for Livingstone, 39-14. Later, more Curtis from the corner. Give her 3. It's ugly fast. Curtis with a game-high 23 points and one, 44-14 at this point. It's 49-26 at the break, and everybody's in cruise control for the Livingstone Lady Blue Bears. Deja Middleton, the star standout player for Fayetteville State, saddled with foul trouble all game long. She was held to only 9 points. I don't think it would have mattered this game because Livingstone was dialed in from the start. They cruised to the 92-47 win over Fayetteville State, 17-0 at this point for Livingstone.
Let's head down to Raleigh in the capital city. Superior Sound in the house as St. Aug hosts Johnson C. Smith. Early on, Smith with the alley. Didn't mean that, but worked out good. Emilio Parks with the bucket. Golden Bulls up by 1. Then it's Josh Linson with the long three-pointer. Smith up by 3, 19-16. Back and forth action all night. Anthony Gaskins, he's going to get it done with some defense with the steal there, the layup, and he pulls St. Aug to within 1. Falcons on the break. Ball doesn't hit the floor. Coach Johnson has to love that. Gaskins again, 19 for him on the night. St. Aug leads at 30-28 at the break. Second half, Falcons come out with some extra mojo. Keith Crawford for 3, and St. Aug is up by 5. Gaskins with the steal here. Quincy January is going to enter your screen now. That was nice. St. Aug up by 7. The lead would grow to 14 when Gaskins nails down this three-pointer from the corner. 44-30 St. Aug. But Smith, they answer. Stedman Lemon with 3 the hard way here. That trims the lead to 9 points. And then Parks is going to seal off January here, the lead down to 6. Marcus Walker, he takes a little more off the lead, down to 4. And Smith would actually get as close as 1 point. But Quincy January says enough is enough. Check out the alley-oop here, slow-mo. He dunks over his own teammate. Can you do that? He did. And then it's January again, cleaning up from Gaskins. Ooh, that was nice. St. Aug with a nice win over Johnson C. Smith, 68-63. They are now 2-5 in the CIAA and getting closer to 500 overall. Smith falls to 3-5 in conference. Tolly Carr, HBCU Live.
Let's head to Barco-Stevens Arena in Richmond. Our first look at the Lincoln Lions as they take on the Panthers of Virginia Union, and it's Colton Lewis with the mid-range jumper for the Panthers. VUU trying to get their first conference win of the year. Chad Sharp saying, nah, not against us, buddy. And then it's Rasheem Dorn with a nice finish at the hoop. Lincoln hanging tough against the homestanding Panthers, but Ray Anderson went off for VUU, the hoop and the harm right there. Anderson with a game-high 22 points, finishing the break right there. And then Anderson knew he had a little help with his friend, so he sets up Avery Germanson with the alley-oop. The rah-rahs like it. We're going down to the final moments in this game. Jordan Watson with a 3-ball for Lincoln. This game goes into overtime. Sharp with a team-high 15 points for Lincoln University, but it wouldn't be enough. VUU comes up with the goods at Barco-Stevens, winning this game 75-73, their first win in CIAA play. The Lady Panthers trying to pull off the upset over Lincoln. If you haven't seen Lady Walker, you're missing a treat. This girl's pretty good. Nice bucket there for Virginia Union. Then it's Taylor White, who came off the bench strong for VUU. She gets the putback basket there. White on the baseline there for the jumper. VUU trying to pull off the upset over Lincoln. Lisa Saunders says enough of that. She hits a 3-ball right there for LU. Then on the break, it's Ashley Freeman with a breakaway, 2 of her 15 points for Virginia Union. Too much Lincoln on this game, though. Tyra Pendleton, 7 of 8 from the field, 15 points. And then Zephyr Pam, inside, gets it done for Lincoln. LU survives the scare, escaping Barco Stevens with a 72-64 win over Virginia Union. Watch out for the Lady Lions. They're going to be a force in the CIAA tournament next month in Charlotte. All right, let's head south down I-85 to the land of the Virginia State Trojans. Trojans taking on Chowan in division play. That's Daquan Ellers with a bucket there. Kyrie Bethel trying to keep the Hawks in the game. He had a game-high 22 points. But Chowan was in a double-digit deficit for most of the game. Bethel with a nice drive on the baseline here, but 6 different VSU players scored at least 8 points for head coach Lonnie Blow. Xavier Parham, one of those 6 players, gets the steal here, takes it coast to coast for the score. Virginia State cruising to the 88-70 win over Chowan. The Trojans still unbeaten in CIAA North Division play. Now, the ladies' game figured to be more of a struggle. Both of these teams among the better teams in the CI. Deshae Jones dials it up from three-point land. Big week for Deshae. Now, Chowan already has a big road win over Johnson C. Smith, trying to get it done against Virginia State. Alicia Mobley just missed a double-double. 10 points, 9 rebounds, hits a 3-ball right there to keep Chowan close. But VSU would keep him at arm's length in transition. That's Kana Marriott. Nice pull-up jumper there. Later, it's the Lady Hawks in transition. It's Rachel Gostomski gonna finish this one off. 2 of her team-high 13 points for Chowan. They would not get the road win in Petersburg on this day because Deshae Jones was strong. The hoop and the harm, 23 points for Jones on the day, and then later it's Wintera Pittman getting it done, mid-range style. Virginia State pulls away in the final moments to win this game by a final score of 71-56. Virginia State still among the leaders and the top teams in the CIAA among the women, thanks to efforts like that from Deshae Jones. Man, she's hot. Now we go to Winston-Salem State. Packed house in the CE Gaines Center, the building that Big House built. Winston-Salem State playing host to Shaw U. Here's the Rams in transition with Kevin Bazemore, the league's leading rebounder, getting it done. Then it's Karan Reed for Shaw. Reed getting it done in the paint. Strong game for Reed on the game. 16 points, 11 boards. Nice move there in transition, but Winston-Salem State has a number of different weapons that they can hurt you with. CJ Ford, nice baseline move there. Give him a deuce. Joe Reed coming up with a putback basket for Shaw. We're going back and forth, back and forth. Muhammad Tajani spots up, nails a 3-ball for Winston-Salem State. Karan Reed and Shaw U had the last laugh late in the first half. Shaw U leads 37-36 at the break. In the second half, Winston-Salem State takes it up a notch. That's Dante Harper, 2 of his 17 points. Larry Richardson had a game-high 18 for Shaw. Nice move in the left-hand finish there. But Winston-Salem State got the run that mattered. Ford for 3. And don't take my word for it. Then in transition, Marquez Jones, who had 13 points off the bench, jams it home. I don't know how to describe what you're about to see. I'm just going to let you see it. That's Javon Wells. I couldn't describe it, okay? Winston-Salem wins 74-69. Now the ladies' game, Jock Curtis, after a couple of uncharacteristic, decisive losses, kind of got things back in order for the Shaw Lady Bears. But Winston-Salem State fought hard in this game. Deanna Scott with the jumper there. Shaw coming up with all the big plays late. Misha Brooks, 2 of her 16 points for Shaw. Kashira McNeil had 16 points off the bench for Winston-Salem State. Wouldn't be enough though on this afternoon. Shaoyu wins this game 84-76. Order is restored among the women in the CI. All right, that'll do it for this week's show. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back next week with lots more basketball from the MEAC, SIAC, SWAC, and CIAA. Check us out now. Sponsorship opportunities are available. Give us a call, 704-609-7157, or email us at hbculive@aol.com. Hope that you're enjoying what we're giving to you here on this channel. We'll see you again next week. Go root for your favorite HBCU.